Hello, welcome to the Maekashi review for Higurashi 5th arc, first answer arc. I was about to say Himasabushi for a while, but no, it's Maekashi. No need for another Himasabushi review. Um, Obviously, if you're here, but you haven't, this is your first video for whatever reason, we're currently reading Higurashi. It's been the project for like a year, more than a year, honestly. So if you're interested in any arc up to the 5th arc, it's the full playthrough over there. If you're interested in any theories and stuff I have created since the 5th arc, there will be a separate video in like a week or a bit. So yeah, this is more just me reviewing it as a story, not trying to piece together the story, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really enjoyed this arc. If you watched it, I got very excited. Lots of exciting moments. I think first I'll just get my negatives out of the way, and surprisingly, despite how much I enjoyed it, there's a lot of technical aspects that I haven't really had problems with in the other arcs, so I think it's worth noting. Probably the biggest one is the lack of, or the decision with the sceneries. There is a lot of black screens throughout Maekashi, and a lot of like ceiling shots, which gets rid of the immersion a little bit. I know as a visual novel, it's not like they really illustrate a scene well. It's just sprites in a background, obviously compared to like a manga or whatever, but it does help. And when most of the scenes are just a black scene, or it's like the roof of a building, or just not showing the other sprite, it kind of takes away from it a little. Like, I don't really understand the reasons for a black screen, especially when you're talking to someone. Why not just show the scene with the sprite? Same with the stuff at the rooftop, like you're talking to someone. A good thing was like during the Keiichi thing in the climax, when she was talking to Keiichi at the torture table, for some reason we didn't see Keiichi's sprite. It was just like, it wasn't a black screen, I think it was just the background. But like in Higurashi, we saw Shion's sprite through the whole thing, so I have no idea why they decided that was a good change. I mean, it made sense as a whole to why you don't see as much sprites, because we're a killer, right? It's not like we're hanging out with buddies a lot. But I still think during conversations you should do that. And I don't know why having a black screen in general is fine. Like, maybe if you're deep in thought, it's like a good symbolism thing, but like I'd rather just have the background than a black screen. And just bringing it up because it's so much more noticeable. It obviously happened in the other arts, but not as much. So that was a big problem for me. Probably the biggest problem. It doesn't really hurt too much, but it's the most noticeable one. Some minor things I didn't like. The pacing was a bit weird. Obviously it's fine for being fast and watching Higurashi, since it's just watching Higurashi through another perspective, or so they make you think. Wink, wink. But damn, my brain has just expanded during this review recording, and I have a spicy theory, but we're gonna leave it for the theory video. Make sure you check that one out when it comes out. So yeah, obviously they should skip through it, but I think the thing I was confused about the most was during the Satoshi era, or the first half of the story, which again, it's fine. It's not like, since it's split into two halves, you definitely have to skip stuff, which makes it more reasonable, but I just wish they indicated it a bit more. I know during the playthrough, I was even corrected because I didn't understand the time skip, and someone told me it was a couple days after. Like, there's no indication, it's just scene ends, new scene. It's like she's going to a baseball game, and it's like, oh yeah, she's finally going to the baseball game, and then they reveal she's been going for a couple weeks, and I'm like, oh wow, a couple weeks have passed? It just feels awkward. I wouldn't mind some indication beforehand, like even dates. I mean, and obviously dates might get tedious, and maybe they want it to be harder to piece together as a mystery, which is fine. But just something, some acknowledgement, like at the beginning of the scene, a couple weeks have passed or something. It's just hard for me to keep track. I was trying to say something else about that. My third problem is Keiichi's sprite. I like his design. It looks good. You've heard it throughout the art. I cannot not mention it. His face just cheeses me off. It's just the expressions, because at the end, I actually saw a Keiichi face that matched the situation, but for some reason, his like default face looks smudgish, sort of like questioning, like one eyebrow up, like what? You're talking to me? Kind of look, and it's just so weird. Like for all these dramatic scenes, you just see this stupid Keiichi face. And I know I just said I want to see the sprites more, but I just feel like I don't know. I don't know what you can do about that. I don't know how it is for the other sprites, but maybe like change his default sprite to not look like he's being stuck up. It was kind of distracting. It's not a huge loss, but yeah, I didn't really. Not a fan of the Keiichi. I'm a fan of the Keiichi screams, not of the face. But those are just the minor problems. Again, not too much to detract from it. A little bump in the road here and there, but hey, almost every story has bumps in the road. Let's talk about the good. Now, obviously, I'm Team Neon. I love Neon. And I've been sort of reserving my feelings for Shion. And it might have come off like I didn't really like Shion. That's not true. Obviously, it's hard to like connect to her when she's murdering and killing people and torturing people. But I really liked her story arc. It was very fun. And one of the things I love about Higurashi, I never really expressed this properly. I'm just like, oh, I love the streams. I love Keiichi's streams. But I just love this explosion of emotions characters have. Like Keiichi gets this explosion of like fear and desperation where Shion's is just pure rage, and it's so great. I loved seeing Shion going crazy. Part of my twisted sense of enjoyment. I love the lovey-dovey stuff with Satoshi. This whole intoxicated by affection towards Satoshi while not being that close in reality, to like once that's taken away from her, she just goes crazy. I think it did very well as the introduction to the answer arcs also. That it gives you motivation, it gives you like the answers to at least the positions of Shion and Neon during the switcheroos. But it doesn't give you too much, right? It gives you some hints, it eliminates some easy ones, but it still leaves you on edge, which is good. I think that's how you do it. You gotta ease into the main answers before you just drop it. I don't know if it's gonna be like Umineko, where they ease in with 5 and 6, and then they just drop a lot during 7, and then the 8th arc is just a meme. Maybe it'll follow the same format, like I've been saying before. It's honestly, like, obviously they're both part of the When They Cry series, but I didn't expect Umineko to take so much from Higurashi. It's almost insane to me. Like, I guess I don't know a series quite like the two, so I can't really compare it, but yeah, just so many characters are extremely similar, the problems, the motivations. It's pretty crazy, in a good way. Because I love Umineko and I love Higurashi. Development. I mean, yes. I was talking about Shion. Shion's great. I love the torture scenes. They're gruesome. They're great. As a horror fan, I've said before, I'm a horror game newbie. Obviously, if you've watched the horror games, but I'm definitely a veteran in horror movies and stuff like that. Books, literature. And torture is just fun. I think gore is good if you use it right. Obviously, over gory stuff can be meh, but like it's very effective in Higurashi, in my opinion, very tasteful. Maybe tasteful isn't a great word to describe it, but tasteful in a gore sense, guys. Um, but yeah, Shion's descent into madness to her end with her last like diary entry being, "I wish I wasn't born," was like pulling on the heartstrings. It's just such a good sentence. Obviously, it's not a good sentence to hear anybody say, but it really, really hits you in the feels. It hit me in the feels. I was like, oh man, oh man. But it was great. Otherwise, other development we've seen. Obviously, Mion's a big one. Honestly, like right now, obviously it's not right to think it, but they definitely painted as Mion doing literally nothing wrong, and Mion being like the cutest character ever. She's honestly so great of a character. And if you didn't notice, I'm still calling them Mion and Shion as per usual. Just changing their names would break my mind. I'd be too confused. So I think that's fine. They technically are Shion and Mion legally, so it's fine. Well, actually not legally, but traditionally. But yeah, Mion development, she was already like really up there, but she's battling it for the top spot with Satoko. Satoko got some development. She's kind of been at a standstill, slowly declining in my books, just because love her when she's happy, hate her when she's sad, and we've just been seeing more sad than happy. But then we get this epic like standoff with Satoko and Shion, and Satoko just kills it with her speech. That was so great. It honestly was the closest like I've been to like crying in this arc. It was great. Sorry. Yeah. How can you describe Satoko epicness? She was literally bounded on a cross, literally the next coming of the Messiah. She's sacrificing her life to just show Shion the error of her ways. But yeah, Satoko got some great development, not just sad, some happy stuff, so it was good to see that. Obviously Rika got development, kind of. It's not like we know what actually happened to her, but it brought up a lot of questions. Definitely a nice slap in the face if you didn't think Rika was involved too much. Like me, I thought she was more of an observer type. I didn't think she would be directly involved, but the fact that happened definitely raises your alarm bells. I mean, side characters, not really, like Oishi. I think I obviously don't know everything about Oishi, but personality wise, you got him, you got Takano, you got your Irie still being suspicious, but literally like having no reason for me to suspect them. I mean, we got introduced to Satoshi. Seems like a good guy. I liked him. He was alright. Not my favorite, not my least favorite. Kanon's voice suits him very well. We got best bro Kasai. I really like Kasai. He's such a bro. It's just how you describe him, right? Loyal. Probably he wouldn't stick with Shion if he figured out what was happening, unless like the mother commanded him to or something. But yeah, he was a fun character. I liked him. A nice static character. Not my favorite, but like he does his role good. I enjoyed it when he was on screen. Got a little bit more about Oryu and Akane too. Well, Akane at the end. I didn't get much of her. Maybe we'll see her in the future, but Oryu is interesting. Basically good character development. I like that. Some characters went up a lot, some characters inched, but that's alright. Sound wise, obviously we got a couple new songs. Dear You being the most prominent. I know a lot of people like that song. I believe there's only 3 versions. There's like a super sad version, the version whenever Satoshi, it's not Satoshi's theme song because it happened in other times. It's like the Shion happy theme song, and then you got the hint version, that kind of rustic, eerie version. Great song, like it. Do I like it more than my that song I don't know the name of because I don't know the name of any other songs in the OSTs. No, but I mean, it's a tough one. That one's like deeply rooted in my heart though. There's a couple other ones. One day I'm gonna learn. I think after I finish the Higurashi, I'll rate all the songs eventually, but I only know them by sound. You should be hearing some random OSTs. Again, I'm just putting in Higurashi music. I don't really listen to it for this one, for like videos. But yeah, maybe it's in here. What else do we have? I think we hit off most of the points I wanted to hit off. Anything else? Best moments? Right, we should do best moments. It's a hard one. What are the great moments? I loved when like Shion revealed herself to Oishi. This again, it's the first time someone's really like sort of jabbed back at Oishi and being effective at it. So that was very cool to see. Torture stuff was good. And that's the whole part where Shion actually does her plan, you know, accidentally kills the head. And the whip stuff was pretty fun. Kimiyoshi stuff was good too. Rika Satoko, the Keiichi stuff. Infamously, like one of my favorite moments in Watanabe was the Keiichi phone call. But it wasn't as good in this one. They did keep the best parts, and they gave you like some Shion stuff, which was pretty. Oh yeah, what am I talking about, dude? Don't forget about the Shion going nuts at Kimiyoshi and the Mion stuff. Okay, never mind. That chapter was fire. The Keiichi revealing that he knows something's up. Okay, I think I've got my thoughts. And I really love the Kimiyoshi reveal. If you add on the Shion freaking out at Mion, hitting her with the lyre and taking her name back was really, really great screaming. That's like probably almost on par with the Keiichi phone call, so give big kudos to that. I love the Satoko thing. I think that's like my next favorite. I thought that was great. Probably my favorite out of the torture, even above the Rika thing. That's probably a highly contested topic because I'm sure people love the Rika thing. It's very surprising and very epic. But yeah, as a Satoko stan, I think this was one of her best performances, so I won't ignore that. Ending wise, it was pretty good. It was also pretty confusing, so. But once you learn the truth behind the scenes, you're probably like, this is the best scene ever. CGs. Do we have favorite CGs? I wish I brought up my CGs. You know, there wasn't too much, I feel, compared to the other ones, but I'm not sure. You know, you gotta love those Shion Satoko smiling together. It warms my heart every time. I recently used that one. The Shion after falling 3 floors down thing when she's looking like up and her eyes are kind of like dead is really great too. Do I have a favorite? I don't know, none of them are like iconic. Like iconic, I mean like Anitakushi's Rena, what was it called again? Mach punches. You got Totodoroshi, Angry Satoko on a bridge. That one's a classic banger. I always bring that thumbnail back up. Himasabushi didn't have one for me. Watanagashi. Ooh, my minds are muddled. I need to look through them again. Eventually. I'll give it to the Shion Satoko thing. That's adorable. Both that one and the line in concrete was great. I was half expecting a CG for each of the torture, but that's probably asking too much. I know the visual novels don't get too graphic. We'll leave that to the anime, apparently, as I haven't watched them. Anything else we need to talk about? We did music, characters, story. I think we're good. So that's gonna wrap it up for the review. Basically, in a nutshell, besides the few, you know, the black background and the backgrounds without like sprites and stuff, it's a bit of a speed bump. All the other issues I named were just tiny bumps in the road. I hope the net starts don't do the same style. And then I believe these were like released by arc. I don't know if they were like in bulk, like the answer arc and the question arc were like combined together. But hopefully it doesn't do it. Then I won't hate it, but I definitely don't love the design decision of that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Again, theory video up later. This should be uploaded Friday, so probably sometime the week after. Latest would be early the week after that, though I do want to get into the next arc. Again, playing through all the arts. Onitatashi to Maekashi's on the channel. Don't know what this is called. I mean, we've heard it on the curtain call. Well, it wasn't a curtain call. The message from Ryukishi. Is that his name? I always forget names. I'm horrible with names. I'm sorry. And we'll get into that very soon, and I know a lot of people are hyped up for that. So that should be exciting. I'm sure there's some fun stuff. Plus Rena development. Oh, I didn't talk about Rena. But it's not like too much happened with her. She's still like pretty much the same as I considered her before, so that's alright. But yeah, some Rena stuff. So that should be fun. So make sure to check out that. The playthrough should be starting. Like next week's going to be kind of a break period while I do the theory video. Then the week after that it should start. Regular schedules, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Doki Doki will also be starting too, so that would be Tuesdays and Thursdays if you're interested in that. And rants will be on Sundays if you're into that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Feel free to comment. I respond to everything practically. You know, what's your if you have any favorites, scenes or moments in this arc, then feel free to let me know if you want. But yeah, hopefully you have a great day / night, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and you're interested in Higurashi stuff, because it's there. But yeah, see ya for now.